So yeah, I think the other really beautiful thing about this app is that it gives a really great overview of the different world timings. So you get notified when certain things are happening in the astrological realms. Like for example, when Mercury retrograde happens, and everybody knows when Mercury's in the microwave, things go to shit. But like they actually maybe don't know how it might impact them and what things going to shit might actually mean for them and how to actually deal with all of that stuff. So what I love about the app is that it just goes into detail about when stuff like that happens, how it impacts you, what it means, when it's going to be over, all of that stuff. So you kind of are aware of, like, you are aware when how things are moving and shifting and so yeah, I just think that if this is something that you're into, this might be quite a cool place to start and just get acquainted with some of that information. Not sponsored at all, and if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, it's all good. I just thought I would share. But anyway, just sharing what I've learned from the app in terms of where we are when it comes to the current world timing is there's this energy that's encouraging us to tap into our intuition from the 7th to the 9th of January. And as we all know, our intuition can be such a powerful and amazing guiding source or guiding tool, that if we focus on honing in on it and growing it and strengthening it, can possibly take us to amazing places. And I just thought it was so cool that this was the current world timing, because it kind of aligns with the topic of conversation that I wanted to talk about today. And basically, I just wanted to encourage everyone to get really acquainted. I can't speak today, but I just wanted everyone to get familiar with their why this year. And I think this comes off the back of my previous episode, whereby I was just chatting about, doing a bit of a life audit on the different areas of your life to understand, okay, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? All of that good stuff. And setting goals and vision boards and all of that. And honestly, I think at the core of all of those things is just having a very strong understanding of what your why is. And your why is the fuel that's going to drive you to take the action steps to reach those goals that you have set for yourself. And it's so important with everything that you do that you have a solid understanding of why you are doing it. Otherwise, you are just going to be carrying on, like not necessarily understanding the importance of a particular goal and not necessarily understanding where that particular goal may have come from. An example is if you are just starting out studying or whatever, and after you study you decide that you are going to go down a particular career path, and you go down the career path and you're just not feeling happy, and you are struggling to understand why you're happy, because it's a good job, pays well, and everyone is proud of you and your family for doing that particular thing, but you in yourself just don't feel happy and content. And after some time and reflection, when you come to dissect this whole journey or whatever, you actually find out that the reason why you're not feeling happy is because your why wasn't in alignment with your feelings and what you wanted and what your intuition was telling you at the end of the day. And so I think that's why I have been really eager to do this life audit, just to kind of reassess where my values lie in terms of certain aspects of my life. It doesn't have to even be related to career stuff. It could be related to relationship stuff. Maybe your goal in a relationship is to get married and have kids one day. But when we actually get down into the nitty-gritty of things and understanding your why, maybe that's actually not what you want. You just want a partner that's going to be there for you for, I don't know, an extended period of time, and you don't want kids, but because society or your parents and your family were telling you that you should have kids because that's the right thing to do, that's what you've been conditioned to believe. So yeah, not to say that that's a bad thing, like maybe even questioning why could reinforce why you want that particular thing and just remind you. And so when you are actively dating or whatever, you can do it confidently with the knowledge that you are dating to, I don't know, reach a particular outcome. And if the partner is not acting in a way that is in alignment with where you want to go, then it's time to cut. Because in 2024, we don't have time to fuck around with things that are like wishy-washy and maybe and. And I think your intuition has a very big part to play in terms of telling you when something is not right for you. And I certainly can say that I've been guilty of this. I have sometimes not listened because I have wanted to be in control of a particular outcome so badly, thinking that, listen, if I double down, if I exercise more control, if I don't know, act in this particular way, then I can disprove this feeling that I have in my gut. And like in my head, logically, this feels like it could work. But deep down inside, there's always that feeling that will tell you that, listen, this is not right for you ultimately, and this is not going to end up in the way that you think is going to end up. And it can be so scary to trust that feeling, especially if we don't exercise it on a regular basis. But I feel like not just for these 2 days, but for the rest of the year, I think we just need to make it a point to exercise our intuitive muscles and listen to that voice in our heads or in our gut or whatever that tells us when something is just not in alignment with what we want. And I think we can be more inclined to trust that voice when we have a very strong relationship with our why. And so that is a challenge that I will be giving to you, and a challenge that I'll be giving to me, and a way in which I've been trying to exercise this intuition is to, well, I'm going to start introducing it in slowly, but I really want to get on top of my meditation game. And I just want to spend some time, like even if it's 5 minutes within the day, to actually close my eyes and just listen to my own voice. I think in some way I have started because like every morning I've been trying to wake up and just journal and like, yeah, and just write out whatever it is that comes to mind, and not necessarily like be in active control of what I'm writing, but just write freely. I think it definitely does help. Another thing that I've been trying to do is pay more attention to the dreams that I have and whatever symbols might be coming up from that, because I definitely do feel like it's quite linked sometimes, even though sometimes dreams can be a freaking weird space. But like I definitely find it interesting enough to like try and glean some sort of insight from there in terms of how I may be feeling deep down inside, especially if it's like a recurring pattern that I'm seeing, or the dream feels familiar or something along those lines. But yeah, I'm just really encouraging you to make some time to really listen to yourself and to just really understand your thinking and your feeling around certain goals and action points and all of that good stuff. Another reason why I feel like it's just so important for us to get a better sense of our why is because, like, if your why is very fickle and very, like, wishy-washy and all of that, I feel like it's not going to give you the drive to, like, it's not going to give you a sustainable drive, is what I'm trying to say. If it's very fickle and wishy-washy and based on, like, this person thought it was a good idea for me to do this, and not, I am passionate about this, and if I don't make it work, I will literally crumble and fall apart and cry, and my life will just not feel the same without having this particular thing in my life. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but maybe that extreme. I don't know. It's up to you and your vibe. Then, yeah, like, I don't even know where I was going with that sentence, but essentially, like, if your why is not that strong and not that compelling, then I don't think you're going to be, like, motivated and driven to go to the extent that you need to go to make certain things happen. And when you look back at your life, and you'll be like, oh, I wanted to do that, but I didn't do it because of X and Y reasons, like stupid reasons. But I feel like the people that go very far in life, especially when it comes to accomplishing their goals, are people that are very grounded in their why they do it. And those are the kinds of people that, you know, people on the outside will look at and admire and just be like, oh my gosh, I want to be that person. Like, I want to be that passionate and excited about something in the way that that person is. And ultimately, when I look at myself, like, that's what I want to be. That's what I aspire to be. That's what I want for myself, is to just be so passionate about something and so driven that it inspires others to do the same. So yeah, that's kind of like the vibes that I was on. If you are doing a life audit right now, or if you're already past that stage and you know where you're going, just remind yourself of your why from time to time, especially when things get hard and things are very tricky. It can be very easy to throw in the towel and lose sight of, like, what is important to you and why you're doing it. But I think if you've got something like a life audit in plan, or a solid, I don't know, group of goals that are underpinned with why you want to accomplish that particular thing, I think it's just such a beautiful thing to just come back to remind you and to ground you and to just push you forward and compel you to carry on going even when you're not motivated. Because yeah, I think most of the time motivation comes and goes, but I think if you have a very strong why that keeps you, like, focused on the goal, then you're good, you're golden. So yeah, today's lesson, kids, trust your intuition and just get very close to your why. And I mean, if you still haven't done a life audit and you want to check it out, I do have a worksheet that I've created that is on my blog. Go check it out. And yeah, just be kind to yourself and ask yourself some questions around, you know, what's driving you, what's important to you. Because at the end of the day, you just need to know what's important to you and what is keeping you on this earth. And granted, it'll change and shift as you get older and as your priorities, like, shift around. But I think as long as you stay true to yourself and stay true to, you know, what your gut is telling you and what your gut is telling you where to go, I think you should be Gucci. So yeah, that's my message for today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and listening to me. I appreciate you very, very much. We will catch up, if not tomorrow, the day after that. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget everything that you do, even if it's asking yourself why, do it with love and a sprinkling of magic. And I'll catch up with you later. Goodbye.